Oops, I didn't realize it started. Hello and welcome to my twin flame journey. I am Shine and this is going to be the June reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And be sure to check your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus to get additional messages. Also keep in mind that these readings are general, so take what resonates and leave the rest. I also may be describing you or the person that you're dealing with. So again, apply the energies as necessary, as well as the genders of the people in the cards. If you'd like a personal reading, all the information is below. And if you can't afford a personal reading but still feel that I help you and would like to donate to the channel, donations are greatly appreciated. And the info on how to do that is also below. What we have here is what you'll be dealing with for the month. This is the why it's happening. This is what you're thinking, feeling, and wanting to do in regards to it. This is Spirit's advice for you, and this is what the higher message is involved in the situation. And then we'll clarify if need be. When I did the water signs, I actually had a clarifier under each one, but because extra cards came out, I didn't follow that. So if you have water in your chart and you check and notice there's a difference slightly in the video, that is why, because originally just 4 cards came out for those, so I clarify. But when 7 came out, it says, well, I can't clarify 7 or we'll be here all night. My readings are long enough. So if I have to clarify, I'll just use one of these. Just looking at it, obviously there's a lot of choices that are going on here. There's a lot of swords. I mean, we've got Ace of Swords, 10 of Swords, Queen of Swords, King of Swords, 5 of Swords, 3 of Swords, 2 of Swords. So there's a lot of thinking in regards to, obviously a relationship, perhaps a relationship offer that might be coming in, or just love in general. There is some toxic energy to the situation, probably some karma. But as with all of our readings, it seems to be revolving around drama, lessons, deceptions, and just the usual. I said, I want to do a thing where we have just all good news, a happy spread, a tarot deck that has nothing but positive cards in it. So there's no choice but for us to not hear this usual, because I feel like every reading is almost identical, because this is what people are dealing with. Let's start off with the 5 of Pentacles. It's in the reverse, so that's good. This is, dealing with either financial things or relationships. In the reverse, it's recovery, from financial loss. It's also feeling spiritual poverty, so maybe feeling some kind of disconnect with our intuition or spiritual guidance. Feeling a lack of faith and hope, maybe in general, or in a particular thing. It's also the end of difficult times, finding a new source of income. So some of you might be checking into that, focusing on career stuff, trying to change our money situations around. It's a job or help from others, or feeling more optimistic, seeing a way out of money woes. Again, as far as the spiritual aspect, it's the persistence of spiritual poverty, feeling isolated and alone, feeling something is off or out of place. Or may have put too much emphasis on material things and neglected our spiritual well-being, maybe focusing too much on work. So combining this with the Ace of Swords, You know, it's all about truth, clarity. It's also a double-edged sword, you know, so it's, I don't say bittersweet, but like either choice is slightly difficult. So it's clarity, victory, truth, wisdom. Situation whose potential is a double-edged sword. The use of great power or excessive at times to further one's own ends. But it's not clear how the powers will be used or what it is you're trying to achieve. Um, Again, maybe that's, you know, as far as finding our direction. Maybe we're just unsure of how we're going to go about gaining that clarity, or we're trying to gain that clarity, or we have. It's up to the bearer to tap the potential of the sword that's beneficial for the greater good, strength of the heart, mind, and will. It's insight and clarity, aha moments or breakthroughs. Again, especially in regards to our own growth, you know, soul's growth, potentials, you know, relationship situations or finances and career situations, a broader understanding or a new view, clearing the fog and cutting to the heart of the matter, time to act to accomplish goals, new ideas, inspiration, creative vision, seeking truth and justice, intellect, reasoning, and strength. So maybe you've been trying to find the strength to come up with new ideas, to gain clarity on how to move ourselves out of financial issues, you know, our lack of faith that we might be having in regards to our life path thus far, or, you know, again, starting to feel better, starting to come out of that because we've gained some clarity, because we've got some new ideas that we're trying to implement. Because we got the Ten of Swords, but also in the reverse, which is a coming out of. Fives are about change, tens are about endings. So again, recovery, regeneration, or it could be, you know, fear of ruin, pain that must occur for growth and regeneration, mental transformation, reevaluation, and elimination of previous attitudes and what's important. Again, gain those aha moments. What do I want? What do I don't want? It's also, you know, resisting. That's the positive aspect. Or in the negative, it's resisting an inevitable ending because we're fearing the pain. Fear and anxiety, thinking worst case scenarios. Still carrying the wounds from an old situation. It might even be unrealized, but we need to deal with it and release it. So if this is a trying to come out of, you know, something that was a difficult time, a painful time that caused financial stresses, emotional and mental stresses, you know, again, this is kind of realizing what's needing to be realized, reevaluating things, you know, trying to gain clarity. Now, the Queen of Swords, because we got the Queen of Swords here, the Six of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. So again, perhaps we're unsure if we want to deal with something, because this is also reflecting on the past, thinking of happier times. This is offers of love coming in, but this is also ones being rejected. You know, and the Queen of Swords is somebody who's been through some stuff. So, you know, perhaps when dealing with someone from the past, there is uncertainty if there should be acceptance of any offers. Again, perhaps, you know, still feeling the stings and the pains of things that have already happened. And the Queen of Swords, again, she can be a little jaded. She's not easily fooled. Emergence and growth through hardships. Again, she's been through some stuff. She has clarity of mind. She considers matters of intellect. It's the mind's ability to soar above day-to-day issues to arrive at appropriate solutions. Sternness of mature intellect. Someone who could be devoid of emotion. Represents the ability, represents the ability to judge and discern impartially, without influence of emotion or sentimentality. Wants to know the hows and whats to make sense of things. Connects through an intellectual understanding, not an emotional, unbiased judgment. Deals with the head, not the heart. Again, we got lots of swords on this table here. Tells it like it is, upfront and honest and blunt. So if we're dealing with anybody from the past, perhaps, this is the way that we're trying to approach that, because we've been through something with this person. We're trying to be very direct, to the point, blunt. We want truth, clarity, nothing but, no shady business going on here. This is all about information in regards to what's being offered, weighing things out. Six of Cups there, like I mentioned, talks about the past, memories of the past, a person from the past, a soulmate connection. Happy reunions with past friends and lovers, shared nostalgia, old pleasures, leaving the worries behind. It's also the loss of happier times of the past, wanting to return to them. Sometimes this is aspects of the self that has since vanished. Obviously, when we go through some things, we lose parts of ourselves that sometimes we don't get back. We become a little hardened through our experience. Again, it could be dealing with the inner child, childhood woundings, causing us to be, not just childhood woundings, but whatever you went through here. Obviously, there was some betrayal, there was some pain. Ten of Swords is not a happy card. So, it's caused us to be a little bit more on guard and discerning, and again, wanting nothing but truth when dealing with anybody, even with ourselves, about what we want, what we don't want, what direction that we want to head in regards to love, life, career. It's also about giving and receiving, because we have an offer coming in. This is either from you or the person you're dealing with. So this is, again, just an aspect of the self. Knight of Cups sometimes is coming in with an apology. So I don't know if you got anybody coming back with looking to give an apology, or making some kind of offer in love, somebody from the past, or this is you. The Knight of Cups is the messenger of love. They're calm, they're peaceful. It's about power, energy, and drive, purity, spirit of creativity. So even again, if we're trying to get ourselves out of financial distresses, figuring out our career, money, trying to gain new ideas, in order to find our passions, or where we're going to direct our passions. It's being in touch with our intuitions and emotions. Looking to their emotions for direction. Trying to figure out what we want. Again, what we want to do, who we want to be with. It's also about a creative adventure, or embarking on a creative adventure journey. Again, could be starting your own business. taking proactive steps towards our goals and ambitions. Or maybe again, to find ourselves again, get back in touch with who we are, what we want, what are our dreams, our goals, our aspirations. Again, or we can be talking about, a relationship issue. So we got the Ace of Pentacles, which is like, the offer. Um, New financial opportunities, prosperity, about manifesting here in the material realm, the earthly realm, something that's tangible, commitments. But in the reverse, it's lost opportunities or lack of planning and foresight, financial opportunities that might fall through. I need to be careful with our spending. It could be, limited success. Need to realize our goals. Corruption, greed, taking what's not earned. Someone who's opportunistic, someone who exploits others, blinded by their obsessions for money at the expense of other areas of one's life. Warns of a risk, a need for planning in career and finances. So if this is about, our direction, make sure that we have a clear plan. Make sure that we're implementing our ideas. Make sure that we're focusing on what needs to be focused on to get us moving. Gain that clarity. Have that vision that you want so that we can get ourselves out of feeling stuck, feeling maybe in the lowest, believing in yourself, in your vision of your dream. But this again could be wondering if we are maybe rejecting an offer that might be coming in, or we're unsure of, we're not willing to take a risk on anything long-term and committed in regards to somebody from the past. Maybe again we're questioning an offer that might be coming in. Especially if we're dealing with, codependent types or people that we view as opportunists. Again, maybe questioning the offer. Again, we're a little bit more careful, perhaps, in what we allow into our lives because we've been through something. And the reason why this is all happening is we have the Three of Swords in the reverse, the Two of Swords in the reverse, the Four of Wands, the Devil, the Five of Swords, and the King of Swords. Now, again, 10 of Swords, 3 of Swords, 5 of Swords, the Devil, so feeling left out in the cold. I mean, there definitely was something that did not make us feel too good, or we could have been doing this to somebody else. Could have been third-party situations. Three on the Devil, 3 of Swords, 3 people in this card. 2 of Swords needing to make a choice between 2 people, or the other person needed to. Wanting clarity, wanting truth, or maybe questioning again an offer that might be coming in, questioning people's motives because we went through something with them before that caused, an unhappy or toxic home life. Well, let's get back over here to the Three of Swords. It's about releasing pain. It's about forgiveness, optimism, coming out of heartache, accepting pain and hurt, and are ready to move on, or finding it hard to move on from the heartache, still suffering in some way, emotionally, and it needs purging. Be careful not to get stuck in the grief. Become a peacemaker. Say you're sorry. Or maybe you're hoping someone else says they're sorry. Think before you speak to avoid regrets. Ask, how am I suffering and how can I release the pain? Again, to get us out of this, to not miss opportunities, gain the clarity or insight that we might need in regards to a past situation. Finally, try to find the parts of ourselves that we thought we lost through a painful experience. Maybe be open to new opportunities, new ideas, new paths, new people, or forgiving someone from the past. No. And the Two of Swords in the reverse is about indecision, confusion. Don't know what the hell to do in a situation. Information overload, caught between a rock and a hard place. Difficult choices. Because either option leads to negative consequences. We're talking about the double-edged sword. It's like, because we don't know if it's going to be good or bad, or it's either way, it's going to be something, because there's always something, isn't it? Weighing out the pros and cons. Information overload, causing confusion. Again, just like it says, there's a lot of swords here. So definitely in our heads in regards to something here. Stuck in the middle, trying to play peacemaker. Maybe you feel stuck. This is what you're feeling stuck and bound in a situation that's driving you nuts. Four of Wands, a time of fulfillment and satisfaction at the attainment of a goal. Maybe this is wondering if this can ever be achieved, because right now we're feeling, let's say, tormented in some way. It's about harmony in the home, peace, balance, completion, a result of an often difficult and challenging effort. Again, we finally made it, right? Good fortune, get-togethers, holiday time, marriages, engagements, birthdays, graduations, or other celebrations. Special milestones, completing a significant phase. Peace offering. Move from one stage to another, moving past our mistakes and challenges to a place of peace, acceptance, and happiness. So perhaps this is what we would like. We'd like to feel stability. We'd like to feel peace. We'd like to move past the things of the past. We'd like to complete a significant phase because we're feeling over it, perhaps. And it is concerning. And we got the Queen of Swords here and the King of Swords. So it's either two people who are being very not forthcoming with their emotions. Again, this is all swords. It's all mental energy. Maybe you're both trying to gain some clarity over a situation, or maybe you're dealing with somebody who is, very stern, very stoic, and so it's like you're reflecting that. And this is also a person who's, intellectual, who seeks the truth, who's seeking clarity, wisdom. But we got the two people that are, maybe even two people that are cutting with their words, because we got the Five of Swords here, and it's kind of causing strife, a disconnect of some sorts. That's why we're wondering if something will change, or again, we're looking for forgiveness, or wishing somebody would be forthcoming with some emotions. Or maybe again, we're questioning the long-term potential of a situation. Again, the devil, it talks about toxic relationships, karmic cycles, feeling tied and bound to a situation, addictions. This could be our own or the person that we're dealing with. Addictions being even our own stinking thinking, negative thoughts, um, fears, etc. It's the person or thing that one projects the inferior side of themselves to feel better. And hopefully you're not dealing with somebody who's like that. A scapegoat to blame our troubles in life on. Someone who doesn't hold themselves accountable, who sucks the life out of you. Losing vitality and life energy. Bondage is voluntary, though. The longer you stay in it, the worse it becomes. Only crisis can break it, which is like the tower coming in. Negativity, constraint, deceptiveness, feeling a lack of control, although this is self-imposed because we have free will. It's hopelessness, pessimism, a need to take back the power of self. Overinvesting, unhealthy bonds, obsessions. And Five of Swords is shallow victories, one-upmanship, no one wins, disagreements that lead to tension and hostility. Like one has won but still loses because you've hurt other people and possibly isolated yourself a lot, lose relationships. Others may have lost faith in you. Is your point of view so important that you put your relationships in jeopardy or the other person? I need to compromise and try to see eye to eye with each other. Conquest if aggressive through struggles. A need to compromise if passive. Possible future struggles that one's not aware of. Ambition, but in a negative sense. Either being callous winner or dejected loser. The price of winning wasn't worth the reward. It's also about betrayal, faithfulness, jealousy, defeat. In the King of Swords, takes responsibility seriously. Desire for spiritual understanding and compassion with intellect, mental clarity, stern judgment. Authority, rulership, detached objective. Only wants the truth and the facts, much like the Queen of Swords. A need to reason with others. Someone who's emotionally detached needs to use logic and intellect, or someone who comes across as detached. So it's about being impartial. Someone that's a stickler for the rules. So again, you could be dealing with somebody who was like this, so now you're like this, or vice versa. There's definitely been some strife here, unhappiness in the home, feeling stuck or bound in a situation, something that caused a lot of pain, a lot of heartache. And again, we're questioning the long-term potential of something, or our own long-term potential, what we want to do, what direction we want to take, how can we manifest. And what you're thinking, feeling, or doing, or wanting to do in regards to situations, we have Storm, we have Spiritual, we have the Fool, and the Lovers. So obviously it's about weathering the storm, a spiritual connection to the person. Again, you could be married to the person, it could be a soulmate connection, but there's a decision here on whether or not, we feel like we might be played a fool again, or if we should, bother with a situation. I'll do some clarifiers too. And we have fair gray-haired man. I said, and why the fair gray-haired man? Well, the stranger. So either these two are the same people, somebody who's learned or matured or grown through a situation, and now it's like someone new, or thinking, can this person change or become different? Can the relationship improve, with some communication? Will this home life get better? So it's either you're thinking this, or you're initiating this, or it's being presented to you, and this is why you're questioning things, you're wondering, because whatever's happened in the past probably wasn't so swift. A lot of pain and heartache. And then we have justice. Why justice? Well, we have hope, the lady, and change. So this is either we're wanting things to turn around in our favor. This could also mean justice system, karmic justice, trying to have hope, wondering if there's hope, wondering again if things could change, or hoping they will, trying to use our intuition. This is what the lady is, or this is the person that we're, dealing with. Maybe the lady is the Queen of Swords. And then we have solitude. So this is like the hermit. So this is trying to go within, trying to seek the wisdom, trying to gain the clarity, wondering if this is the end, or if it should be the end, or if we're thinking about the way things ended. We're trying to go over everything, learn from our mistakes. Again, wondering if there's any long-term potential, or wondering where this next phase or this next path is going to take us, or if we should be dealing with another person on that journey. And then we have the lesson. Why the lesson? Well, because of strength, loss, growth, and good fortune. So the lesson is obviously whatever was learned in this situation, being able to apply the lesson, having strength and courage to implement the lesson. If we want there to be growth, if we want there to be good fortune, if we don't want there to be a loss in this situation, again, there's a lot of trying to figure it out here. Let's see. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse is we have the lettera, which is the love letter, but it's in the reverse. And then we have La Vecchia Signora. So this is, again, somebody from the past. This is delayed communication or a lack of communication. This is also an expression of our feelings and our emotions. Let me see. La lettera. Delayed communication. Bills. Again, money issues, perhaps. Text message, written communication, business letter, telephone call, documents, paperwork, money. So again, money can be a factor in this situation. But I think there's perhaps a delay in communication and dealing with someone from the past because we're uncertain of any long-term potential. Questioning the commitments. Ending. We have Lamika, but in the reverse, so there's a falling out of a relationship with someone that we were close to. Stop, look, listen. We have Viaggio. Viaggio is the travel card. It's about forward movement as well. There could be a delay in this or a lack of forward movement in a situation. That's why we're uncertain of its long-term potential. Ending, we have amore, but in the reverse. Stop, look, listen. We have La Superbia in the reverse, and we have Allegaza Aquari in the reverse. In the upright, this deals with reunions, happiness, joyousness. This is arrogance, ego, including our own fears or somebody's arrogant behavior. In the reverse, this is on Stop, Look, Listen. So again, we're kind of reflecting on something that's happened here where there's been a falling out, a loss of love due to somebody's behavior. Could have been arrogant, could have been self-serving, could have been manipulative in some way, but in the end, it caused a lot of pain. And there might be some fears involved in regards to either the same person or moving forward in general. Again, questioning our journey, questioning our path, questioning offers that might be coming in, wondering if they're genuine, or if we should make them. Wondering again, is all lost? Is all lost, and should it stay lost? See if I see anything else here. Viaggio in the reverse, positive change or progress, evolution, slow development again, slow development, slow movement. But, maybe hoping for positive change and progress. And Lamika in the reverse, again, is a falling out, again, or someone needing possible financial assistance. And again, so I don't know if money is playing a factor in the situation, either for you or the other person or both. Amore in reverse is the end of love. It's also infidelity. So I don't know if there was any cheating going on. Like I said, we got the Three of Swords there. We got the Devil. We got the Five of Swords. It's possible there was another situation going on, which caused an upheaval here. Here's the other one. My apologies. Oh, Allegraza Arquare. Again, betrayal. This is in the reverse. This was on Stop, Look, Listen. Betrayal, hindrance, family disagreements, unstable relationships. So again, questioning things or realizing things. Maybe we're looking to take our love somewhere else. Superbia. Yeah, that was about like our fears again. Self-serving behaviors, etc., etc. Either the person, you or the person that you're dealing with. Loss, we have disgrazia, which is, unfortunate ending. It's like the tower. And we have messengere. It's a message from a distance. This is on loss. Good fortune, we have l'allegrezza, which is about lightness, tactfulness, or hoping something that will improve over time. It's also about communication. So again, we could be receiving some communication, wanting to give some communication, trying to figure out again a situation or learn something through some information that we got. Let's see what Spirit's advice is for you. We have the Spirit Whisperer in the challenge position, divine guidance, higher knowing, as well as Sisters of the Season, cycles of growth, natural law, and divine order, both in the challenge position. One second, I left my book on the table. Sorry. Now, number 3. The Spirit Whisperer warns that you're about to go astray and you need guidance. Red flags are waving and you must pay attention lest you find yourself cleaning up messes you didn't even know you made. She challenges you to start again and trust your intuition. In time, you'll be back on track. On this occasion, you can't possibly go wrong since you're that much more aware of the possible challenges you need to step away from. If this is about a relationship, you may be repeating something in your past that you don't need to relearn. Stay away, as this may end up as a costly distraction. That said, lessons learned over and over make for great wisdom later. So again, that's maybe why we're questioning what to do in regards to a person, because nobody wants to repeat something that seems somewhat toxic. 17. The Sisters of the Season send you a warning that you're trying to jump the gun and go from winter to summer without paying heed to spring, or skip from summer to winter without allowing for the possibility of autumn. Moving too quickly, looking for shortcuts, and artificially trying to prolong a hoped-for result will not yield what you desire. There are no shortcuts. It's time to rethink your plans. It's where this clarity is coming in. We need to strategize. Be careful of the difficulties. All 4 sisters are nature's cherished daughters and are important. Be careful of the difficulties they force you to endure when you try to trick them away from each other. Better to let nature take her course, so daughters will be very happy, and so will you if you let them express themselves in order. So reasons, seasons, lifetimes, right? It's about embracing change, having hope, using our intuition, in regards to what is right and just for us in this situation. Look within, reflect on everything. And, don't repeat any more mistakes. If you feel a warning, go with that. Again, because some people come back from the past, just because they try to see if they can get in again, but have not changed. Sometimes it's a test from the universe to see if you've learned. We're going to have to use discernment. This was all part of perhaps a lesson that we learned. And we're going to have to, use our best judgment to figure out what is best for us, what we want to do in regards to forward movement in our life, who we want to allow back in, who we don't. what paths we might want to take in order to change our financial situations. You know, maybe getting more in touch back with our spiritual side, you know, to get that guidance to lead us. But again, what I tell everybody, know what you're dealing with. Educate yourself. Watch out for narcissists. Watch out for emotional manipulators. Watch out for serial offenders. You know, people that it's very hard for people to change. Not to say that people can't, but again, if you've been through a really painful situation with somebody, something that was karmic, and if anybody's going to try to be coming back around, use discernment. Use discernment. Again, and not all soulmate relationships are life partnerships. You know, there's some are meant to teach you a lesson and be done so that you can be open to the person that is truly meant for you. Someone you won't have to go through all of this painful stuff with. You know, but again, sometimes people can learn and change. You'll have to figure that out for yourself in regards to what you want to do with a particular person from your past. The other advice is to pay attention to the red flags. You know, the signs are cautioning you. So again, use discernment. Use discernment. And this says, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. And then we have attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. And then we have getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So this is either the person from the past, you know, maybe taking things slow, pay attention to any red flags that might be coming up, you know, but keep an open mind. Try to be in the present moment. Or this is warning you to leave it alone. And to attract somebody new, we got to be in the present moment. We got to release all this stuff, you know, and keep an open mind. The person who you might end up with might not be what you usually go for. That's why it's good to get to know them, you know, be open to new possibilities of love. And so, because not everybody's reconciling. And again, realizing there's a reason, a season, and a lifetime, peoples, and using discernment and realizing what's what. And again, allowing cycles to end, allowing new energy to come into your life, especially if you've been through something that's been pretty lousy. And then we have compassion. I see it from others' points of view as forgiveness and kindness. This is about, you know, being able to free ourselves from any negative energy that we might still be holding within ourselves because of an experience that we went through. It's allowing that healing to happen that we need to happen. And then we have children. My heart is filled with love for children, which makes miracles and positive change for them and me. So, I mean, we have children on this card. We have children on here. Could still indicate new beginnings in a soulmate relationship. This is also about trying to find that within us that we might have lost, you know, through this situation, and to find compassion and forgiveness and healing so that we can have new beginnings for ourselves. And the universe is asking for you to trust and know that God in His infinite wisdom and love is answering my prayers right now. So trusting in the universe, trusting in your own intuition. And then we have truth. You know, again, Ace of Swords is all about truth. Queen of Swords is all about truth. This is all about truth. So make sure you're honest with yourself and other people. Only accept the truth. Especially if you've been dealing with any deceivers in the past. You know, stand in your truth. Stand in your integrity. Again, do what you feel is right for you. And have optimism. I expect good things to happen, and they do. Again, try to think positive. Try to be in the present moment. And again, use discernment. And then we have God. I step out of the way and surrender any need for control in order to make room for God's healing love to flow through me in this situation. This is knowing that the universe loves you, God loves you, the angels always watching over you, rooting for you, trying to guide you, trying to send you little messages. Know that you're watched over. And try to find peace and joy within thyself. And on that note, I send you love and light. I wish you healing and luck in regards to this and anything else you might be going through. Please like, subscribe, and share, and leave comments if you haven't already. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.